Hey everyone. Ready to dive into something we all deal with in our careers?
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about those times when things just don't go our way.
You know?
The missed promotions, projects that go sideways,
Totally.
ideas that fall flat.
Yeah.
It's all about career resilience.
That's it.
That ability to bounce back even stronger.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're going to look at it through the lens of three icons you might not expect.
Ooh, okay.
Thomas Edison,
Okay.
Albert Einstein,
Interesting.
and Marilyn Monroe.
I would not have thought of them together. That's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of a fascinating mix.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to learn a lot from them.
Awesome. I'm excited.
So it's really interesting how these figures achieved incredible things,
Yeah.
but they also hit massive obstacles.
Oh, for sure. Everyone does.
But they somehow managed to turn those setbacks into like stepping stones for even greater success.
They did. They did.
Which is, I think, what we all want to figure out how to do. So first up, we've got Thomas Edison,
Okay.
the master of invention.
Light bulb.
He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work."
That's a classic.
Just let that sink in for a minute.
10,000.
10,000 light bulb filaments before he got to the one that worked.
I mean, that's incredible persistence.
So I'm curious. So Edison's genius, though, was in how he looked at those so-called failures.
Totally.
He didn't think of them as defeats,
Not at all.
but as like these valuable data points.
Yeah.
So every attempt, even the ones that didn't light up,
Pun intended.
maybe brought him closer to understanding what would actually work.
Yeah.
So instead of, getting bummed out when things don't work out,
Yeah.
we can try to take Edison's mindset and use them as feedback.
Yeah.
It's like keeping a work journal
Okay.
where you jot down what happened, what did I learn, what could I do differently next time.
I like that. A resilience toolkit.
Right.
Yeah.
And each entry is like a tool.
It is.
It helps you get better.
You know, it's funny you mention that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Edison himself said.
Uh-oh. What did he say?
He said, results. What, man, I have gotten a lot of results. I know several thousand things that won't work.
You just kept going.
He did. And it's true. I mean, every experience we have, the good, the bad,
Yeah.
they all add to our knowledge.
Absolutely.
And they help us kind of refine how we do things.
Yeah, totally.
Really?
But I have to say, sometimes it's hard to see those setbacks as anything other than just straight up setbacks.
Right.
How can we really make that mental shift?
Yeah.
Like to really embrace a growth mindset.
Well, I think a growth mindset is all about believing that we can get better at things,
Okay.
that our abilities aren't fixed.
Okay.
They can grow
I like that.
through effort and through learning from those experiences.
Yeah.
So it's about looking at challenges as chances to grow,
Yeah.
not like threats to our ego.
Ooh, that's good.
Right.
Wait.
So when you hit a setback, ask yourself, what can I take away from this? What did I learn?
I like that. So switching gears a little bit.
Okay.
From Edison's persistence to Albert Einstein's wisdom, he said, try not to become a man of success, rather become a man of value.
That's powerful.
It's a powerful statement.
Yeah.
What did he mean by that?
So Einstein believed that real fulfillment
Okay.
doesn't come from like chasing those external markers of success.
Okay.
It comes from actually contributing something meaningful to the world.
So it's more about...
Yeah. It's about making a difference.
Okay.
Not just making a name for yourself.
So it's about the impact you have.
It is. It is.
Okay. So hearing that, it makes me think, how can we practically shift our focus
Yeah.
from chasing that success to providing value in our work every day?
That's a great question.
Mm.
One way is to really focus on helping our colleagues,
Okay.
be a valuable team member.
Okay.
We can seek out feedback, to understand how people see our work, how we can do better.
And what we can improve on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think another key is making sure our work lines up with our values, with what we're passionate about.
So when we're really driven by a purpose,
Yeah.
it feels like those setbacks, they just don't feel as personal.
Right.
It's like they're just bumps in the road
Yeah.
on a journey towards something so much bigger
Right.
than just us.
Exactly. And that sense of purpose,
Yeah.
that is a huge source of resilience.
Yeah.
When we know what we're working towards and why it matters,
Yeah.
we're a lot less likely to give up when things get tough.
Absolutely. Okay, so lastly, we've got Marilyn Monroe.
Okay.
An icon who really faced more than her fair share of challenges.
Yeah, she did.
She once said, just because you fail once doesn't mean you're going to fail at everything.
I love that.
And I think we've all felt that.
Oh, absolutely.
That sting of wanting to throw in the towel after a big setback, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
We have.
we have.
And Monroe's words, they remind us that one failure doesn't mean your whole career's over.
Right.
We can't let a single setback derail our dreams.
Absolutely.
What matters is how we respond to it.
Yeah.
And one, I think, crucial element is self-compassion.
Self-compassion.
Yes,
That sounds important.
it is.
So instead of beating myself up after a setback,
Yeah.
what are some ways to actually practice that? Like to be kind to myself?
Well, think about how you'd treat a friend who's going through a hard time.
Yeah.
You wouldn't tell them they were a failure,
No.
right? You'd offer them support.
Right.
You'd try to
So we
understand.
scores.
You'd encourage them.
Yeah.
You deserve that same kindness from yourself,
It's true. We're so much harder on ourselves
aren't we?
than we would be on anybody else.
We are.
But how do we turn that into action?
So it starts with acknowledging how you feel,
Okay.
validating those feelings,
Okay.
and then shifting your focus to taking like small positive steps forward.
Okay, so don't dwell.
No, don't dwell on it.
Yeah.
Instead, ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do today to move forward?
So it's about setting like achievable goals.
Yes.
Even if they're tiny.
It can be tiny.
To rebuild that confidence.
Yes.
So maybe it's
Yeah.
volunteering for a new project at work
Okay.
or tackling a task you've been putting off.
Those are great.
You know, it seems like those small wins can really add up
They do.
to something bigger.
They really do. And each one reinforces that belief in yourself
Yeah.
and helps you get that momentum back.
And it's important to remember you don't have to do it alone.
You don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate the power of having people to support you.
It's
Your mentors,
Yes.
peers,
Yeah.
friends,
Yeah.
they can offer encouragement,
Absolutely.
perspective,
Yeah.
just remind you that you're not alone
Exactly.
in facing these challenges.
Right.
You know, this idea of self-compassion, celebrating the little wins.
Yeah.
It's not just for our careers, is it?
No.
Not at all.
I've been trying to learn a new language.
Oh, cool. Which one?
Spanish. And I keep getting discouraged because I'm not progressing as quickly as I'd like,
Right.
you know?
Yeah,
And so I get frustrated.
it happens.
And I want to give up.
Sure. Yeah.
It can be so frustrating when you kind of hit those plateaus,
Mhm.
you know?
It really can.
But I guess what we're learning here is that those moments,
Yeah.
they're actually like part of the process.
They are. They are. And it's in those moments, you know,
Yeah.
when we feel like giving up,
Hmm.
that we really need to lean into those resilience tools
Yeah.
that we've been talking about.
So instead of like beating myself up for not being fluent yet,
Right.
maybe I should focus on celebrating, like,
Yes.
mastering a verb tense or having like a basic conversation.
Exactly. And acknowledging that progress, you know,
Yeah.
no matter how small, it reinforces that growth mindset.
And keeps you motivated to keep going.
Okay. So I feel like we're kind of creating like a blueprint for resilience.
We are.
Pulling from these really interesting people. You
Mhm.
know, Edison's persistence,
Mm-hmm.
Einstein's focus on value,
Yeah.
and Monroe's ability to bounce back.
Right.
They each offer like a different piece of this puzzle.
They do. And what's exciting is that it's not limited to just our careers.
Oh, that's true.
This blueprint, it applies to anything challenging,
Yeah.
whether it's learning a new skill or trying to improve a relationship
Yeah.
or pursuing something creative.
So it's almost like a lens we can use
It is.
to view any obstacle.
Yeah.
And so instead of, freaking out and thinking it's a roadblock,
Yeah.
we can see it as, okay, this is an opportunity for me to learn
Yes. And to grow from it.
and to grow.
And that shift in how you see things.
Yeah,
That's super powerful.
it can be. Speaking of empowering, you mentioned that connecting to like a larger purpose
Yes.
can help fuel that resilience.
You can.
How does that actually work? Like in real life?
So when we tap into that feeling
Right.
that our work is part of something bigger than ourselves,
Yeah.
those setbacks, they start to mean something different.
So they're less about us personally failing
Right, exactly.
and more about opportunities to kind of learn and grow
Exactly.
on this path towards a bigger goal.
That's right. And it's when we can connect what we do every day to that collective purpose, that's where the real magic happens.
I see. So it's like
Yeah.
we're not just working for ourselves anymore.
No.
We're working for something that we really, really care about.
Yes.
That's bigger than just our needs and our desires.
Exactly, and that can really fuel our passion,
Yeah.
our creativity.
It can make us work harder, too.
It can. A resilience in ways we never thought possible.
So we've talked about persistence,
Uh-huh.
self-compassion, setting small goals, and connecting to that purpose.
Right.
Is there anything else that we can, add to our toolkit?
You know, one we haven't talked about yet is mindfulness.
Okay, mindfulness.
Mindfulness.
So being present in the moment,
Yes.
paying attention to, our thoughts and feelings?
Exactly. Exactly. Without judgment.
Okay.
And it can help us stay grounded when things get tough
Okay.
and help us respond with more clarity and composure.
So mindfulness sounds like something that takes, practice.
It does. It does. But even a few minutes of mindful breathing
Okay.
or meditation every day
Okay.
can make a big difference. It's about being more aware
Yeah.
and accepting
Okay.
both of yourself and your situation.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
It can be really helpful when you're just feeling overwhelmed and stressed.
it really can. Yeah. It's like taking a step back from all the chaos
You're right.
and finding a little bit of calm
Right.
in the middle of the storm.
Right. And I imagine that calm is super important
It is.
to making, smart decisions
It is.
and responding well when things are difficult.
It is.
Okay, so I feel like we've got a pretty well-stocked resilience toolkit now.
I think so, yeah.
But thinking about our listeners who might be facing something really tough
Right.
right now, what's a small step
Yeah.
that they could take, today
Today.
to apply some of these things we've been talking about?
That's a great question. I would say start by figuring out one area where you feel stuck
Okay.
or discouraged.
Okay.
And then ask yourself,
Yeah.
what's one tiny thing I can do,
Yeah.
even just for 15 minutes,
Okay.
to start moving forward?
So it's about taking these, big, overwhelming things
Yeah.
and breaking them down into something smaller
Yes.
that's much more manageable.
Exactly. Exactly. And don't forget to celebrate every win along the way.
Yeah.
Even the tiniest step, when you do it on purpose,
Right.
it can set you on this path towards being more resilient
Okay.
and more successful.
So it's not about, being superhuman
Right.
or never hitting a roadblock.
Yeah.
It's about having the tools
Yeah.
and the mindset to deal with those tough times
Right.
and to come out stronger on the other side.
And we're not alone in this.
Yeah, that's so important.
You know, we all face setbacks.
Right.
We all have those moments of doubt,
Right.
and we all need help sometimes.
It's easy to feel isolated when you're struggling.
It is. It is. But talking to your support network,
Yeah.
whether it's friends or family or people at work or mentors,
Mentors. Yeah.
it can make a world of difference.
Yeah. Sharing our experiences, good and bad, I think it normalizes it.
It does.
Right.
It does. It does.
It reminds us we're not alone
It does.
in this whole thing.
And that we're all in this together.
Yeah, it's like that saying, a problem shared is a problem halved. But sometimes even with all that support, it's hard to shake that feeling of, what if this one setback, what if it just defines my whole career?
Oh, I totally get it. It's natural to feel that way.
Yeah.
But, if we think back to those examples, Edison, Einstein, Monroe,
Yeah.
they all had those moments, where things could have gone, completely off track.
Yeah.
But they chose to see those setbacks, those bumps in the road, as opportunities,
Hmm.
to learn, to adapt, and to come back stronger.
Yeah. So they really are role models for all of us.
They are. They are.
You know how to navigate our own career journeys, and just know that, even the most successful people, they've had their fair share of challenges.
Exactly. They remind us that resilience isn't about avoiding the setbacks completely.
Right.
It's about having the tools and the mindset to bounce back from them when they inevitably happen.
And those tools, reframing failure as feedback, focusing on providing value, practicing self-compassion, connecting to a larger purpose, those aren't just for, dealing with setbacks.
Right. Exactly.
They're for helping us thrive in every part of our lives.
Absolutely. It's like building this inner strength.
Yeah.
That helps you face, whatever challenge comes up. Knowing that you have what you need to get through it.
So it's not about becoming immune to the challenges.
Yeah.
It's about being more ready to handle them.
Exactly. And the more you use those tools,
Yeah.
the stronger and more resilient you become. Each challenge you overcome, it adds another layer. It prepares you for whatever comes next.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into career resilience, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Hmm.
As you go through your week,
Yeah, I have that.
we've talked about Edison, Einstein, Monroe, incredible, incredible journeys.
Yeah.
So think about your journey. What are your career goals? What challenges are you facing right now?
Yeah, what's that one principle, that one insight
Yeah.
from these amazing people that you can start using today?
Yeah, maybe it's Edison's, relentless, experimenting. Or Einstein's, focus on contributing something.
Right.
Or Monroe's just unshakable belief in ourselves.
Yeah, I love that.
Whichever one speaks to you, remember that even that smallest step, when you take it with intention, can put you on that path towards greater resilience and success. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep bouncing back. You got this.